Hey guys, well, I'm here with Andrew today, and we're going to talk about, well, why is now the time to join Amare? And Andrew, so glad to have you. You're servant leader. You're awesome. You've been doing this right from the get-go, right? What
Yeah,
is it? Where? How did you start? Tell us a little about it.
yeah. So we originally started, we were not looking for a business, and we were adopting, or we were fostering two kids and moving towards adoption. So there was a whole host of court cases and all the rigmarole that goes around that. But my wife was actually in California, UCLA, a hospital out there, and she was helping a friend who was having a brain surgery, and she opened up the UCLA magazine. It was all about microbiome for mental wellness. And our adopted kids, every family member on both sides of the family are either autistic, retarded, schizophrenic, or bipolar. The parents have quite low IQ, and the girls came with developmentally delayed issues and were a lot younger than their chronological age. So we were like, well, is this nature, nurture? Like, what is it? As their parents, how can we ensure that these kids have got the very, very best start now they're in our home with our parental style? And so we started researching microbiome, and it was fascinating. And we said, yes, this is it. This could really help the kids. But everything that we'd researched, nothing said what to do about it. It just said, hey, autism, and there's a link, and ADHD, and there's a link, and depression, and there's a link. And I was like, now what? So it's like saying, hey, exercise works really well,
Mhm.
and we found all these, but we're not going to tell you how to work out. We're not going to tell you how to go to the gym. We're not going to tell you any of the stuff that you need to be able to put it into your own life. So we were like looking, and it just so happened we knew Rich Higbee and we knew Pat Hintz. And I trust those guys. I was 25 when I met Pat, and I was the kid in the back of the room writing down everything Pat Hentz says. And for those that don't know, Pat Hentz is the founding distributor in Amare, and Rich Higbee is one of the founders. And their path was going like this, and we felt like our path was going like this. So we went out to California and we sat down, and there was no product and there was no business yet. And they said, this is the vision. And we went, oh, could it be? And yeah, I remember just having so many mixed feelings going, do I want it? Do I want this as a business? Do I not? We'd been with another company for like 14 years, and we were making like 5.5 grand a month, and we were tired. We were just tired of business. We were having foster kids was tiring also, and we just felt like we were ready for a break, not like a push with a new business. But we came back to Colorado, and we could not shake this feeling that there was something here that was what I call my Facebook, my Google, my Apple moment. When they started, if somebody could be an investor in any one of those companies at the beginning, where would they be now? And if somebody wanted to drop $2 million into Facebook now, and have shares in Facebook or Google or Apple, it wouldn't really go very far. It wouldn't create anything massive. But if they did it at the beginning, it would. And I kept on going over it again and again in my mind, like, what if this is it? What if this is the thing that I've been looking for to support my family and make a difference in this world? And we came back, we talked about it, we prayed about it, we just wrestled with it, and we decided that we were going to walk away from our own old business. And again, 14 years, 5.5 grand was our maximum we ever made, and to walk away from it and dive in with Amare. And we were scared, and a lot of people thought we were insane. And let's just put it, they don't think that anymore.
Why not? Why not, Andrew? What changed? Because I know a lot of change in your family, right?
Yeah,
Even they feel, and of course financially. I'd love to hear both stories.
yeah. When we started, things were pretty tight. We knew exactly when payday was. We worked out exactly what we were going to get, and there's some months that were more tight than I'd like. And then taking on these two extra kids, I honestly completely underestimated the financial impact in our family. We knew it was right. We knew that these girls needed a place to be, but the increase in cost, because they needed new wardrobes of clothes. They needed bed sheets. They needed beds. They needed programs that music. We decided that music lessons and all that stuff. And skiing. We went back to the England last year, and it was $9,000 in flights. And it's just things that I did not anticipate at all came in. So we started probably, it'll be like 2 years this November when we actually like really sort of like dived in to sort of doing the business. And I remember last February we were making $2,000 a month with Amare, and I was like, I thought it'd go quicker. I thought it would be, making more than this. But then this February we made $26,200.
Nice. And that was actually about a year into the real launch, right? There was a
Yeah,
pre-launch.
yeah,
And
yeah. So yeah, so once we sort of like launched and we actually figured out what we were doing and how we were going to grow, it was roughly like probably like 13 months later that we went from making like 1 to 2,000 to that 26,200. And 10 years ago, I made 27 grand in a year.
yeah.
And I just went, huh. And I look back to our last business and I was like, what would my goal have been in a year with my last business? From 5,500. I thought, I wonder if I could do 6.5, maybe 7, but I wouldn't be going $26,200. And, servant leaders are guaranteed income of $15,000 a month. And it's put us into a position that really struck home this weekend. So we had last week 3 orphan girls from India come and stay with us, and they've been out in the US for 10 months doing a tour where they sing and bring awareness to sponsoring children and adoption. And I saw them on stage and my heart went out and I was like, I want to adopt him. I want to adopt him. But I was like, we're already full, and what would it be like if I sponsored them? And so I talked with the organizers and they said, well, I said, one wants to be a doctor. And I said, what's the likelihood of that happening with a current education? And they said, 0. I said, how much would it be to get them into a private school where they learn English and they have the opportunity, if they want to pursue it, to be a doctor? And she said, $100 a month. And I said, okay. She goes, well, which kid do you want to sponsor? And I said, all 3 of them. And then this boy from Kenya. And the lady goes, that's $400. And I was like, well, yeah, my math's not that bad. I can work that out. And she's like, you want to sponsor all 4? She goes, this is till they graduate. And I was like, awesome, great, let's go do it. And she goes, because we can't put them in school and pull them out. I said, no, I'm in. And then we went to see them off. They're leaving tomorrow, but we went to see them off on Tuesday. And my wife made all these beautiful pictures and cards for them so they could remember the time with us in America. And she forgot them because she was in a homeschool program that day, and it was a busy day. But anyway, so I went back and I walked in, and there's 3 African boys and 1 Indian boy. And they said, I heard you sponsored Denzel. And I said, yeah, I did. And he said, I heard you sponsored 3 Indian girls too. And I said, yeah, I did. And my heart started breaking because I was like, he's going to ask me why I didn't sponsor him. And he didn't. He said, you're changing the world. 10-year-old boy. He said, you're changing the world. He said, you have transformed my friends' lives. And I was like, well, you're transforming lives. And he said, how am I transforming lives? I said, because you've gone to a country, you took a big, bold step, and you went into the unknown, and you've spent 10 months in a country where you just spoke no English and they've learned English. I said, you've traveled all over the country, and you've been in front of thousands of people where you've opened their heart to adoption and to sponsoring. I said, I'm so proud of you. I said, you're amazing. And he said, well, how are you sponsoring 4 children? He said, that's a lot of money. I said, oh, I'm just starting. I said, my goal is to sponsor 40 of you guys. And he said, how do you do that? And you could see the minds blown, and the organizer was stood there. And she goes, how will you do that? And I said, well, I've been blessed with my business. And I said, and the more I grow business, the more impact I can make in the lives of children that are in absolute poverty. So it was that real sort of like aha, like, hey, we're not just doing this to be good. We bought a very nice car a month ago, and I was like, you know what, my wife's car kept on not starting well. It was burning oil, and I was like, boom, there's a dream car. And that was cool, but it was even cooler to see these kids. So by business expanding, by us taking that big, bold risk, and that's what I found. If you want anything in life, it doesn't come by playing the certain route. It goes by taking a big, bold step and then being all in. And I think so many people, they're not all in. They go in like 60%. And I use this as an analogy. If I'm 99% committed to my wife, and we've been together for 15 years, but I only cheat on her once a year for 30 minutes.
Please don't do that. Yeah.
It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
You know, but I could say, well, look at all this time I did work. That's me not being 100% committed. I am 100% committed to my wife. And I'm 100% committed to building this Amare business. I'm not doing it because um, I just feel like it today. I didn't not do it because I don't feel like it today. I'm doing it because the bigger that we all grow our Amare businesses, your heart's desires to make an impact in this world can be realized. And before this, my biggest goal was to get to payday so I could pay the bills without feeling stressed. So it's changed our family focuses. It changes how my kids are dreaming. It changes now these four other kids' ability to dream. And I couldn't have done this if it wasn't for the timing. We got in at the right timing, and it's still the right timing. We're still really early on in this company. And if people can see that they can join now early and not judge themselves for 6 months, work 100% for 6 months without judging themselves, they're going to look back and see something incredible.
Well, that part was my question, Andrew, because I know there's going to be some people who are going to say that, right? This is awesome, and you're doing beautiful work, and I love the work you're doing, and I can't do this. This is not for me. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the whatever, right? And I think you
Yeah.
already said it. It is that 100% commitment. But what would you say to a person like that, or even people who are just now looking at this, like just really just looking at
Yeah.
the thing? What do you say to that?
It was not the right time for us. Like the month we started was the month we adopted the kids. It was crazy. But what I realized is it wasn't the right time, but it was the right timing. Meaning that if I wait, I really do believe that every hour I work this year is like 10 hours next year. And you know, if you're there and you're like, I'm already busy, I'm going to ask you this: is it going to get less busy next year? Is it going to get less busy the year after that? I meet a lot of people, and my heart goes out. And as I said, I still have another business as well, and we're homeschooling. We are going. We are busy. But what I found is, if I don't do this, then it's not changing. You're going to spend the rest of your life this busy. And I have people going, oh, you know, well, once I get more time, I'm like, great. Are you planning to get a promotion where you work less hours for more money? No. Are you planning on coming into some money? No. This is the blunt reality. It's never gonna get less busy for you unless you do something radical.
Okay. I can see that. Now, how about the money thing? People say, I don't have the money. I can't invest in a launch pack, or I can't invest into whatever it is, right? I don't have the
Yep.
physical.
This is what I found is if somebody's TV goes out, if somebody's refrigerator goes out, if somebody's cars break down, they will find a way to replace it. They'll get, you know, if you took the average person's TV away, it would be the best thing they could do, but they wouldn't do it. They're going to replace it. And let's say that's 500 bucks. Let's say your refrigerator, we got struck by lightning last year and our refrigerator got fried. And you have to have a refrigerator. So we had a refrigerator, and there's 2 grand. And you know, to keep our food cold. That refrigerator does not make me any money. The TV costs me money, doesn't make me money. You know, so if this is my question, if you're lying on your deathbed 50 years from now, would you go, you know, the biggest mistake of my life was spending $750 on a launch kit where I used the product? Like, you wouldn't know it's gone. I've been absolutely broke. I've lived in tents for a year, and trailers for probably about a year as well. I've slept in garages for 4 months next to the cars, and when, you know, my alarm clock is when they turn the car on in the morning, and you know, um, So I've slept in some really strange places, and I've been as broke as you could be. And I had a tent, and I had some food, and I made probably about $70 a week. That was a season in my life. And when I came out here, I bought a $3,000 car. It was everything I had. I'd wind down the window to open the door, all of that stuff.
Right.
And we had a mattress on the floor. We had a plastic poker table and a sofa and a TV that I'd have to hit to turn on because it would turn off, and then I'd hit it and it would turn back on. The button, it broke. That's where we were 15 years ago. So to be aiming now for over $100,000 a month, and I know that's coming, is
Talk,
beyond anything I could dream about.
talk to me about that, because we talked a lot about those individual concerns, right? But people say, okay, one other concerns that I'm just putting out the concerns that I hear from people.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is gonna go, right? This is a fad. This is just gonna be there for a little bit, and then it's going to go. Um, why is now the time in terms of where we are with everything that's going on?
So one thing, the reason I'm here is the leadership of the company. If it was just product and not the leadership, I've seen good product with not great leadership, and it's horrible. So a company rises and falls on its leadership, and I trust Hip and Rich and Pat and Sean and Mike Brown 100%. 100%. And we were just out in California with them again, probably about 5 weeks ago. And again, just being around them, Hip was like, there is no quit in me. We are going to make this $1 billion company because people need it. It's not just the product, it's the people driving this ship. And they're incredible. So if you're on the fence, go out to head office, and they call it the welcome home event. And it's once a month, and it's on a Saturday. And I just did a Zoom just before this one, and one guy was like, I went out to that event, he said, and it changed everything for me to see the leadership and how they speak. He said, just captivated me. And that's the thing, we're not a fly by night company. All you have to do is get around the founders, and you will realize that this is no fly by night. This is dedicated, 100% committed individuals that want you to thrive. Hip's made all of his money. He's not doing this to make money. He's doing it because it's a mission for him. But, to be $1 billion company is when we change the course of mental wellness in this company. And I'm committed, and I feel like Amare's blessed my family so much. I'm committed to helping Hip realize his dream of $1 billion company too.
Awesome. Beautiful. I love that. And yeah, I recognize that. A week after I heard about Amari, I was in California, flew
Yeah.
out to the East Coast, and exactly the same thing. Just the dynamics is just phenomenal. Are the
Yep.
numbers supporting it right now, the growth? I mean, I think the numbers are pretty good, right? I don't have any specific statistics, but are the numbers supporting the growth that we're doing?
Yeah, we're trending. Now we're not looking for those fly-by-night companies that go woomph because it's all selling a boatload of crap and it's about signing everybody up and then they go. We're looking at these companies that have been around 10, 15, 20 years and how we stack up against them. And all of the top companies were trending faster than they did, which is great to hear. But I'm seeing people come from other companies that have never been on an incentive trip in their life, and they've been there six years, and they were in Amare for 5 months, and they're on the first incentive trip. You know, and it's people going, wow, it took me 5 years to earn what I was earning at Amare in a year. And that's the thing. The sky's the limit, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's work.
Yeah.
There's challenges, and I believe that our job is to create problems and solve them, and then create new problems and solve them. If we can embrace solving problems for people with a product, solving problems for people with a business, that's all we are. We're here to give people the opportunity of saying no to our option. And if they want to say no, great. If they want to say yes, amazing. But I'm not going to keep Amare a secret because I'm hearing the stories of people. I'm hearing the kids transform. I'm hearing marriages transform. I'm hearing people from the business standpoint going, wow, I didn't think you could grow a business this quickly. you know. And so it's been massive. It's been a lot of work. I believe in that 10x rule. It's going to be 10 times harder than you think it is. But I asked myself, let's say when we started, and I said, if this was 10 times harder than I think it's going to be, but I can make 20, 30, 50, 100, $200,000 a year, a month, would I do it? And the answer is yes. And, you know, so if somebody wants to just imagine signing up and then just going, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for those checks to roll in. This is not for you. If somebody wants to work, fail and learn, because I believe if you want to double your success, you triple your failure. You're gonna screw up, and will you stay in action regardless of what your wellness partners are doing, what your customers are doing, what your family and friends say? Oh, I can't believe you're doing that. Well, that business has just started. Yep, we're a year and a half old, and we're growing and growing and growing, you know. And this year, we're already in our first year, we're in the top 10% of all network marketing companies in America in
Nice.
terms of sales. This year, we're tripling where we were last year. So we're on track for that tripling. And then the next year, I expect it to be quadruple or higher, you know. So that's the thing. We're growing. And what we're looking for is people that want that leadership role, that want to come in and own their organization. I'm not looking for people that just want to be babies and want me to pump them up every week and get them going. I'm looking for people like Anne-Marie, who leads herself and leads her organization, that are coachable, that will reach out for help if they need it, but you know they're getting the boots dirty every day themselves. They're not just somebody that's passive and waiting.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's awesome to see how much you've grown since you've come into this company. And it's a pleasure to see just how your team has grown as well, because that's the great thing. It's like, it's not just having awesome people, it's seeing those awesome people bringing awesome people. And we're going to have some fun in Costa Rica.
Yeah, we are gonna have fun in Costa Rica.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and I was one of those, right? Who
yeah,
I didn't expect to do that, but it's been 4 months, and I hit
yeah,
the incentive trip. But I
yeah,
agree with you. The biggest blessing has been for me to work with the owners, to work with you, and then to work with people that are coming in and seeing so many of their lives change. I mean, I
yeah,
could tell so many stories. We're not gonna do that today, but yeah, this is really going. So, well, thanks, Andrew. I mean, I think this has been phenomenal. If anybody has any questions, please reach out. Because we'd love to answer them and
yeah,
love to bring you along, right? And see where this can go for you. I believe in a big vision, and I've said that, and I believe
yeah,
really like you, now is a time, right, to
yeah.
step in, and not tomorrow, not a month from now, not a year from
No,
now. Now,
it's got to be now. It is like, I think if people could really grab like the Rice a Servant Leader program, if they could grab hold of that, they would be in action big time before August. And you know, and that's for people that are already in. If you're brand new, disregard what I just said, because you can still hit that Rice a Servant Leader. But I don't think people are seeing what this is going to be. They're thinking too small. They're not, because they haven't seen Hip and they haven't seen Rich and the other execs. They don't really see what this is. And if they could, they would be acting radically different. This is your time. This is your moment. If you want to look back and if you want to say, well, Andrew grew because he was lucky. I thought I was insane. I thought I was absolutely mad when we came to Amare. I'm like, if this doesn't work, I've just screwed my family. I've taken away 5.5 grand a month out of my family. And what am I going to do? But if it does work, what can I do in the world? You know, and that's the thing. So many people thought we were insane, but it's like now they just think we're lucky. You know, that's the thing. When somebody actually succeeds, they go, "Oh, you're lucky."
yeah,
It's not luck. This has been hard work, and you know, where they think, "Oh, you must be gifted." I'm not gifted either. You know, I'm just relentless. So that's the thing. If you want to say that's the reason why we've achieved what we've achieved, awesome. Go for it. Hope it makes you feel better. But if you watched how our family works, you would go, these people worked for this. And I earn my income. And when I'm doing $100,000 a month, I'm going to be earning that too. There is no quitting me either. And the bigger we get, the hungrier I get, because I see that impact that I can make in the world. I can see the impact I can make in my kids. And I tell you what, life is more fun when like a couple of months ago, Janelle was like, my wife was like, hey, how much did we get paid on the 15th? And I went, no idea. I said, I didn't even know it was the 15th. First time in my life, I wasn't checking how much we were earning each month. And the piece that came from that going, what we've built is continuing to grow. We're in our best ever month right now. I'm amazed. People say, oh, June's a low month.
No.
It is crushing all the other months. So because of awesome people like you that work and me that work and all the other people. So we built an organization, not a team. This isn't. I don't want to build a team of people. I want to build an organization that changes the face of the US and beyond. So if that's you, let's talk. And if it's not you and you just want to watch us, that's all right as well. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, so our group is called Game Changers, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing, right? We're changing the game of mental wellness, and we're changing how it's perceived, what's done about it, and that's what I see all the time. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome, and so awesome, Andrew. Well, thanks so much for being on this call.
More
Thanks
than
for
welcome.
doing. It's always wonderful, and yeah, let's change the world. And if you want
All
to
right.
contact us, bye, bye, Andrew.
Happy to help you guys. So let's build an even bigger organization, and let's go and have fun, change lives, and look after your families. And then once you've got that abundance, then you can start making a difference in the world. So
Beautiful.
thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.